Okay, everybody. I think I'm streaming. I hope I'm streaming. If you are here and you are watching the stream, would you please type something into the chat? Still having a few technical difficulties as I'm going, and this is the live stream for two-dimensional design. Jasmine G, good to see you. Glad you're here. Just getting my camera adjusted and trying to get things just right. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is the structure of the course. I'm going to talk a little bit about the syllabus, and I have started yesterday. I've got 2 drawing classes and now 2 two-dimensional design classes. The second 2D class was added not very long ago, and so I'm kind of behind in getting that class going, and that class doesn't start until next week. So I'm still making some tweaks to how the class is going to be organized online. One thing that I have decided, I really do like this idea of live streaming so that you can ask me questions live. However, I'm finding that students are really having issues with the scheduling of it, and they really want to attend, but they can't. And it's causing some stress, and so what I think I'm going to do, what I definitely need to do to make your lives easier and to make everything function more smoothly, is that I need to, or what I'm going to do is not invite you to the live streams. I'm going to do the videos ahead of time. And when it's Monday of each week, on your announcements, I'm going to have a checklist. And that checklist will tell us what you need to do that week. And things will be hyperlinked. Videos like this will be hyperlinked, so you can just click on it on the hyperlink, and it'll take you to the videos you need to watch. It'll take you to places in iCollege that have voiceover PowerPoints. I think it'll just be easier for everyone. So I'm so glad that we're here right now and we have a chance to interact. Hello, Dean, again. Thank you for attending. And so what I'm going to do in this video then is I'm going to talk a little bit about the organization of the course, talk about the syllabus, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the supplies. And I know getting things going the first week, especially with everything being a little bit crazy and online, can be a little bit nerve-wracking. So I want you to know that I'm going to do everything I can to make this function, or make this class function a little bit easier. And so what that means is kind of learning as we go and tweaking things. So the syllabus can be found on the iCollege page. If you have not found the iCollege page yet, please do so. Please go to the iCollege page and explore the different sections of the iCollege page and understand how it's set up. As I said, I'm still tweaking it, but pretty soon, in the next day or 2, I'm going to have your announcement laid out, like I mentioned, with hyperlinks to make things a lot easier. So as far as how the course is laid out, and you'll find this in your syllabus, the course schedule part of your syllabus shows that the course is broken down into 5 modules. And I like to do it so that one module builds on the next in terms of your skill sets. This first module is composition and line. And there are some issues I'm running into with this class being online that I'm constantly trying to problem solve. I have a feeling that what I may do is change some of the assignments so that they're more online friendly. You know, certain things that I used to give out that I might not be able to do, we're going to have to just figure that out. For example, this first assignment, composition in line, I have a bunch of magazines at school that I was, that people were able to go through and cut out pictures from, and that's kind of hard for me. I went to school to see if I could hand those out, but it's just going to be too difficult. So I will get to that specifics of this assignment, and if you have any magazines, if your parents have magazines, try to get your hands on some. But I'll talk about that later when we get into the assignments. So the first module is composition in line. The second module is positive space and negative space. We'll be working with black paper and white paper. And then the next module is illusion and depth. That's a fun, it's really fun module. We're going to be talking about the techniques that artists use to create the illusion of depth on a two-dimensional surface. And what we're going to do is we're going to lay out those techniques that artists use, and then I'm going to give you an assignment that has you use every one of those techniques. And the resulting image is a drawing with Micron pen that has a lot of depth and a lot of interest to it. So that is illusion and depth. After that, we go on and we talk about value. What is value? Value is light and dark. And as far as an image goes, lightness and darkness. Light and dark in an image is usually reflecting the way that light falls on an object. And if you get the value right on an object, it begins to look three-dimensional. What we're going to do during that module is we're going to do self-portraits out of cut paper. And I don't know if any of you have seen any of my student work in the hallway at GSU, if you've been there for a while. But I have some of those to show you some past student work. So this is an example of a selfie portrait. These are just copies, black and white copies of what the students did. This one is, or they're all just black and white. So what I have you do is I have you do a value scale from white to black, and then I have you paint that, and then we cut out the value changes on our face, and we reconstruct our faces. It's so much fun, and it's a lot of hard work too. So I just wanted to show you because I think that there's so much good student work that's been done. This one, notice how big people's faces are. That's one of the requirements, is your face has to be really huge in the in your selfie. And the reason for that is so that you can, you're going to have to cut out each little value change. And you really don't want to have to cut out something that's super teeny. Although this student cut out some really teeny reflections in her eye, and it's just ended up to be gorgeous. Here's another fun one. We won't be doing painted backgrounds like he did. It looks nice, but he didn't really follow the instructions. So the background is also going to be painted in cut paper. So you're starting to get the idea of the selfie portrait. I like the way that, what's so much fun in this class is that a lot of students have, or each student has their own distinct style. And the style, especially in this assignment and the final portrait painting, comes across in really fun and unique ways. Just show you a few more. This one got to be a little bit flat. This is a different technique. This student just cut out strips and really layered the strips together to try to emulate the value changes. And this one is really nice, really simple graphic approach. And we'll talk about all these again when we get to this assignment. All right, that is the selfie portrait. So pardon this quick run through, but I just kind of want to give you an overview of the course. What you can also do, if you've been to the iCollege page, you'll notice that I have set up under content. If you click on content and then you go to module folders, in the module folders, I have student work for each assignment. So usually what I do inside the module folder is I have the PowerPoint presentation, I have any additional videos, I may have handout for instructions so that you can print those out. And then at the end you'll see a bunch of JPEGs, and those JPEGs are student work from that project. So in the selfie portrait module folder you'll find a lot of examples like that. So in all of these you'll find that before you start the project you will be able to look at what students who have gone before you have done, and I find that to be very, very helpful. So that's the setup of the iCollege page. So 5 modules. You know, this doing this online, it is going to be a new experience, and so be open to possible changes. I know that the second module, positive and negative space, I'm going to be making changes to that to make it easier to do at home. So when I say I'm tweaking the iCollege page, that's part of what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be amending some of the instructions for the assignments as we go. So for those of you who are tuning in late, I am going to be on our announcement pages on the iCollege page. When you click on this class on iCollege, the first thing that comes up are announcements. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting a checklist there for the week. So each week you'll have a new checklist. In that checklist will be hyperlinks that you can just click on, and it'll be like, watch this video, watch this PowerPoint presentation, read these instructions, try to get this done by the end of the week. And that way I think it'll help everyone with pacing and with keeping up, and you'll have so many iCollege pages that you're navigating. I think that'll just make this iCollege page that much easier to navigate. Okay, so I have some questions. It says, will we need everything on the supplies list? And will Jen be giving out the kits tomorrow? Yes, so let me start with the kits. The kits are available for you to pick up today. What day is today? Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can get there anytime from 11 to 4 in this week. And she'll have the kit for you. And the question is also maybe what's in that. In that you will have your micron pens. Okay, so here is what you'll be getting, micron pens. Also, you will be getting a viewfinder that we need to start this assignment. Here's an example of a viewfinder. And you will be getting 2 pieces of paper. And this paper is just in case you haven't had a chance to get your supplies yet and you want to get started. I realize that we're going to get off to a slower start than we usually do in face-to-face classes. And that's okay. We just all have to be flexible. We're all in this together. We're all in a time that is very strange, and we just have to make the best of it. So this is what you can pick up for free. These pens just went up to $12, so I'm glad that I have some for you that you can have for free. So pick this up from Jen. And if you have magazines, try to collect some magazines. So what else do I need to go over about the syllabus? I think I'm done with the syllabus. We'll go on with supplies. And since the next question is about will we need everything on the supplies list. So the painting supplies are fairly expensive, and the painting doesn't start until module 4 value. So you can hold off on the painting supplies for now, but get everything else that's on the list. I have ordered some supplies for us. And what happens, it's not ideal, but what happens is I find out how many students are in my class, and then I'm able to order a certain amount of supplies for the class. And so one of the things that I have ordered are some self-healing cutting mats for you. And so those are not in yet. They probably won't be in for 2 weeks or so. So I don't know if they're going to really be here on time. So that's kind of a bummer. But what I would suggest for you is to look at that supplies list and get everything on there except the painting supplies. And then in a month or two, you're going to need to get the painting supplies. Okay? So let me go over that supplies list. And you've seen the Micron pens, and you'll be getting the viewfinder, which we'll use in this first assignment. You have glue sticks, which I'm sure you're familiar with those. Rubber cement. Okay, if you haven't used rubber cement before, this is how you'll be mounting your finished drawings or your finished two-dimensional pieces that will be on this paper. You'll be mounting it to Bristol board. Okay, this is an example of Bristol board. It's not like mat board. It's really kind of flexible, and it's something that you can get at Blick. So what happens is you'll finish your drawing, and you will mount your drawing to your Bristol board, and it's going to serve as a frame. It looks nice in your portfolio. It gives your piece a certain degree of finish. And so this rubber cement is what you use to adhere your drawings to your Bristol board. And the rubber cement eraser, I have ordered some of these also. Because students sometimes have a hard time finding them and understanding what they are. So this thing is just like this weird, it's like shoe rubber or something. And what happens is when you paint on the rubber cement, you get some residue outside of your picture. You can use this rubber cement pickup or rubber cement eraser to remove that glue. And so that's what this is. I have ordered some. They'll be in, I think, in about 2 weeks. The supply chain is kind of weird right now, so let's hope that that's when they actually arrive. If not, if they don't arrive, I won't take off points for you having rubber cement outside of your picture, because I know that once you get your eraser, you'll be able to clean it up. All right, so we've gone over the drawing paper. The drawing paper that I'm handing out to you, this is on your list. This is the Strathmore 9x12 drawing paper. It doesn't have to be this brand, but it does have to be drawing paper. 9x12. It's got to be 9x12. The reason is you're going to end up putting it on your Bristol board here, and you don't want to have to cut down everything that you do, because that's just, it ends up being crooked and whatnot. So this is the drawing paper. I have ordered also this Art Again black paper. This is our second assignment. So if the Art Again black paper has not come in by the time we get to the positive and negative space assignment, I will have to switch the order of things. I'll push this back, and we'll do space or illusion and depth instead of this. So this is what this looks like. I have ordered it for you. If it's on your supplies list, you don't need to buy it. Tracing paper. Again, this may not be on your supplies list because I usually hand it out in class because we only really use it for, well, we use it for this assignment and we use it for the selfie portrait assignments. So I don't have enough of this to hand out to everyone. Don't have enough of it left. So if you can get some tracing paper, 9 by 12, that would be helpful. If you are friends with someone in the class, you can always split it. Get some paper and split it. Trying to think if that's everything I have. The Bristol. I don't think that this is the size that I have in your assignment, but I wanted to show you what the Bristol paper looks like. It just comes in it's really pretty cheap at Dick Blick, and you'll just Google, or when you get to Blick, research smooth Bristol paper. Okay, and I believe in your supplies list that it is the Bristol board 14 by 17. Not that size. 14 by 17 Bristol board. That's what this is here. All right. So those are supplies. Some more supplies that I can think of. A Sharpie pen. If you have, it doesn't have to be a Sharpie pen, but if you have like a brush pen or something that allows you to put down areas of black, that's what we need. So you can either use a Sharpie or you can use some kind of black marker pen. X-Acto knives. We'll be using this on the positive and negative space assignment and on the selfie portrait assignment. That's what an X-Acto knife looks like. Just has a very sharp blade. And the blades, usually they come with replacement blades. So you'll need this, and you'll probably by the end of that, by the end of the selfie portrait, you're gonna need another blade because the blades do get a little bit dull over time. So the other thing, so I'm thinking of things as I go, which is unfortunate. The other thing that I usually have in the classroom for everyone are rulers, some kind of straight edge. So hopefully you have one of those at home. Hopefully someone has a ruler that you can use. So you'll definitely need that. And I tell you what, why don't I, for the painting supplies, I'm going to do a separate video for that, so as to not overwhelm everyone. And I'm going to look, sketchbook. I haven't mentioned a sketchbook. If you can get 8.5 by 11 at the smallest sketchbook, if you have me for drawing, you can use, you can get one sketchbook and use the first half for drawing and the second half for 2D. If you have a sketchbook that has a lot of pages left in it, or a good amount of pages in it, you can use what you already have. That's fine. But what we'll be doing is in each module we usually do some kind of prep work in our sketchbook, and then we do that first, and then we use our sketchbook and our sketches to do our final project. We'll do thumbnails. So when you said, so not Wednesday, yes, Wednesday. Jen will be there to give out supplies kits today through Thursday. That means every day this week except Friday between 11 and 4. And when is Module 1 due? That is in your syllabus, okay? So what I want you to do is to go to the iCollege page and look at the syllabus, and it has a due date there. So that's if you haven't had a class here yet, the importance of this syllabus, okay? You got to go to the iCollege page, and the syllabus is listed there. It's downloadable. So download it onto your computer, print it out, take it with you. Under course schedule, where it says critique, that's where all the due dates are listed. And like I said before, we're gonna be a little bit flexible with this semester. If it comes up too soon and we can't get everything done, I may have to adjust the due dates. We'll see what happens. I know everybody's has different set of circumstances. So your syllabus, please print it out. Please download it onto your computer. Look at the course schedule. All the course due dates are there. And where it says, it may say due date on your syllabus, I don't quite remember, it may say critique. So critique is the day that it's due. And what critique is everybody, usually when it's face-to-face, everyone brings in their assignment or their finished project, and we put it up on the bulletin board, and we have a discussion about it, and we give each other feedback about it. And it's really a great way to learn from your peers, and you get to see what everybody did for the project. And that's what critique is. So that is, whenever you see critique, that means you've got to show up with that assignment completed. So the question in art classes is always, well, how are we going to do critique online if we can't be in the same room? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take photos of our finished products. With your cell phone camera, you'll just take a picture of your completed drawing or image or project, and you'll need to upload that to our critique page, and I will have that hyperlinked for you at the end of each module in your module folder. So what you'll do is you'll upload images of your work. You'll probably also upload the work that you did in your sketchbook. And then because the class is going to function asynchronously, the critique can be asynchronous. We'll give it a window of time. Maybe it's going to be 3 days. And people can come in and make comments. It'll probably actually be more like a week. Because what I've found is it's fun to have an interchange where each student goes and you are required to give feedback to each project. So you go and you find what each student did and you give your feedback. And you may ask them a question and they should respond to that question. And then you can come back and you can then respond back. And it's supposed to mimic live critique, although it's spread out. It's spread out over a few days, which is not as much fun, but we're doing what we have to do, right, to accommodate everyone's schedule. Some of you may be working and taking a class at night. So we just have to do what we can. And a word about critique, don't be afraid of it. The way that I work critique is that I like to create a sense of community among the classroom. So we're here to support each other and to give each other constructive criticism. We're here to learn from each other. And so I might in the critique instructions, I might give you some things to think about that you can give feedback on. And it's not meant to be critical in that you're not trying to be critical of people. We're trying to help each other. We're trying to learn from each other. And that's the underlying vibe that I expect in critique. I don't want anybody to be insulting. That's just counterproductive. We're here to learn. We're here to improve our skills, and we're all in this together. Okay, now if you put up something that's half finished in critique, expect people to say, well, it's not finished, it is what it is. I was telling my drawing class that I think being in art school and being in art classes versus being in classes that are based around a book is a lot different. It's really hard to push everything to the last minute because making something requires, it's a process. Especially with that selfie portraits that I was showing you. That is a very involved process. You can't put it off to the last minute. There's no way you can do it. And it's not fun to have to show up to a critique and with a half-done project because there's no hiding it. So try to keep up, everybody. So I don't want to keep this too long, but again, I am going to be setting up that announcement page for you with the checklist. I have a PowerPoint that I need to voice over, and it's really cool. What happens now is I can give my PowerPoint, and you'll see the PowerPoint presentation, but you'll also see a little picture of me in a corner in a little square talking to you. And you can switch in between. You can have me big and the PowerPoint small, or you can have the PowerPoint big and me small. And I will say there'll be no reason to have me big because you're going to really want to see what's on the PowerPoint. Does anybody else have any questions at all? I know this is taking some getting used to. So what we're going to really focus on for this week is becoming familiar with the iCollege page. You're going to wait for me to give you instructions for the week, and you're going to get those art supplies so that we can get to work right away. Okay, I see some question. Is there a final for the class? Yes, not an exam, but as I said, the class is organized by modules. And at the end of the module, you will be turning in whatever it is you made, like the selfie portrait, for example. That is the turn-in for that module. So our final module is a painted self-portrait. And that's what your final is just turning that in. I'm not big on quizzes and things for art. I'd really rather you focus on making and working in your sketchbook. So I'm not going to be giving you all kinds of quizzes and stuff to prove that you're here. The proof that you're here and you're doing your work is if you turn in a completed assignment when it's due. Kimmy says, I understand that we will do critiques for projects when they are due, but in the discussion tab we have critiques there too. Can we ask for critiques to help us during our project? Yes. Kimmy, that's a great idea. What we sometimes do is in-process critiques, and I think what we can do for that is, well, let me think about it. You can definitely send it to me, or I can go ahead and open up critique early, and you can you can go ahead and upload a photograph of what you're working on and get people to do in-process, or we can just schedule an in-process critique. That might be a good idea. And we'll just use the same critique page, and what it'll end up being is you'll have your in-process pictures, and then at the end you'll have your finished pictures. So I think that's a good idea. We'll work that out. Any other questions? I have, how many, well, sorry, I'm used to teaching. I was about to say, how many of you have used X-Acto knives? I don't really know how to do hands up on this, but I have also a video on how to use an X-Acto knife. You've got to be really careful because they're really sharp and you can cut yourself. So when you reach out to me via email, I have a question about that. Just just email me through iCollege. You can try Panther Mail. It seems like sometimes there's a problem with Panther Mail. How about this? Just try both. But I usually tell people to use the iCollege email button because I can reply a little bit easier that way. Yeah, so this sounds good. So what we're going to do then on this this week is we're getting off to a little slow start. That's okay. I know that you've got supplies to get. You've got to get your feet grounded. So go get your supplies and look for tomorrow. Look for in announcements your checklist for this week. I hope I can get it done. It probably won't be tomorrow morning, but it will probably be by the end of the day tomorrow. I can even send out an email when I do that. I think that's going to work really well. I just did that today for my drawing classes, where you just go and you click on a link. You're like, watch this video, and you can click, and there you are, right at the video. So, I'm slowly learning this new platform and trying to always get feedback from you so that I can improve. Will I be streaming tomorrow at 9 a.m.? No. I have, I don't know if you were here at the beginning, Kimmy, but I'm not going to be doing any more live streaming. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stream ahead of time, and everything is going to be available for you right when you need it. That way, nobody has to worry about changing your schedule. If something comes up, you have some place to be. If some of you might be working during the day and doing classes at night, the live streaming was an idea that I had that I thought would work out so that we have some kind of interchange, but it's really working out to be too much trouble to schedule for people. So what I'm going to do then is just have the live streams there, and you can watch them whenever you want. As a class, we can decide if we want to have group class meetings outside of critique or outside of my office hours. What some professors do is they might have a bi-weekly class meeting. I know everybody hates Zoom. I really hate Zoom because it always crashes, it seems. In my household, I have 2 college professors and 2 elementary school students. And everybody is on the internet at the same time, and it just always seems to crash. So I'll figure out something for office hours that's unique, and I'll get back to you on that for office hours and how we might all get to meet as a class and have some interaction. It might be that we just do Zoom, but I might be able to come up with something different. Maybe it is a live stream that's scheduled ahead of time, and we have one every 2 weeks or something like that. So be patient with me as I figure it out, and I can't wait to get started. As I said before, if you guys can get your hands on some magazines, go and do that. I came up with an idea. I know they have a dumpster for magazines at the farmer's market, but in this day and age of coronavirus, I don't know if dumpster diving is a good idea or not. So we'll be creative about it. But I think that's about all I have for today, and I want you to watch for that more instructions tomorrow and a very clear announcement checklist of what to do for this module. Okay, so that includes that PowerPoint. If you've been on the iCollege page, there's a PowerPoint there for this module, for Module 1. But I haven't narrated it yet, so I'll do that tonight or tomorrow morning, and I'll be able to direct you to it. Any final questions? All right, so feel free to email me, and I'm going to figure out the office hours in a way that is good for you. If you want to have a one-on-one meeting with me, you can always email me and say, hey, can we have a Zoom meeting? And I'll set it up. We'll have a Zoom meeting. We can talk. We can see each other, or we can, I really want everyone to be comfortable. If you'd rather Zoom without video, we can do that too. All right, everybody. I really look forward to this semester, and I apologize for the slow start, but again, I did get a last-minute extra section of 2D design, and so I'm working all of that out. And so I will see you soon, and check your email, and we will get started very soon. Pick up your supplies. All right, take care.